Hey guys, Raj Sangha of Cardio Security. Welcome back to the channel. Last month I did a deal with my good friend Mitesh, aka Maybach Man, and purchased two cars. That's the February car purchase and the March car purchase. It's not this E30 M3 because I've had this car for like 7 or 8 years. However, my February car purchase is one of the reasons why the E30 M3 was ever developed. Right guys, my February car purchase is a Mercedes 190E 2.5 Cosworth, and what a car it is. Now why a Merc, you guys are probably asking. Well, I mentioned buying a 190E Cosworth many months ago in one of our Cas Unplugged videos, and to be fair, after having that awesome W124 Coupe Slam Sanctuary Customs project, that very special W124 with the 3.6 AMG engine, the car that we transformed and sold last year, I thought, you know what, I need to get back into a Mercedes, so why not buy something that's on my bucket list and tick it off? And that's what we've done. I'm going to give you a little history lesson first. The reason I was in my E30 M3 Coupe initially at the beginning of the video, this car is the reason why the E30 M3 was ever produced. So the Mercedes-Benz engineers used the W201 190E as a base car and reached out to Cosworth to help them develop an engine ideal for rallying. And hence the 2.3 16 valve Cosworth engine was produced, although Mercedes-Benz never actually entered that car in the rally series. Instead, they used it for the German Touring Car Championship, or DTM. So BMW didn't want to lose out to their noisy neighbours, Mercedes-Benz, and they developed the E30 M3 also to race in the German Touring Car Championship, DTM. So the engine in this car was based on the M102 2.3 engine, and Cosworth helped develop the cylinder head. You've got strengthened pistons, you've got improved airflow to the cylinders, plus now the car revs up to 7,000 RPM. You've obviously got stiffer sport suspension in the 190E Cosworth, and it sits quite a bit lower over the standard 190E. There are two iterations of the 190E Cosworth. The first iteration was based on the 2.3 engine and pushed out about 185 brake horsepower, which at the time was pretty respectable. The equivalent E30 M3s were about similar, maybe a touch more, 190, 195 brake horsepower. This is the second variant of the 190E Cosworth, and this has a 2.5 litre 16 valve engine. You've also got fitted the Getrag 5-speed dogleg gearbox, again similar to the E30 M3. First gear is left and down, second is up, and third is down. Now on a circuit, the most popular gears you will use are probably second and third, hence why it's a straight up and down movement, second into third. You can't have this car in an automatic, it has to be the manual variant. In terms of driving, this car's pretty good. So to get the best out of it, you've got to drive it hard past 4,000 RPM. And in terms of cornering ability, it's not bad, but there is a fair amount of body roll, as you may have just witnessed there on the camera. It's not as compliant as the E30 M3. It's not bad, but definitely not on the same levels as the E30 M3. Steering feedback is okay. I'm not fond of this steering wheel, but you know, it's okay. Power-wise, not too bad neither, to be fair, especially for a 30-year-old car. So inside, this car is typical Mercedes-Benz 80s, 90s design. Just underneath the original Blaupaunt Montreal stereo, which is missing some of the rubber buttons, you've got 3 dials. Left-hand side, you've got the voltage meter. Right-hand side, you've got oil temperature. And in the middle, you've actually got a lap timer. So if you were on a track or on a circuit, you could time yourself around that circuit. Obviously, these are all common features now on virtually all sports cars. Instrument cluster, again, very typical of that 90s era with the 3 dials straight ahead of you. Behind this quite big and clunky Mercedes-Benz steering wheel, I think this is going to have to be changed at some point. You've got this quirky little economy needle. So if you're cruising along like I'm doing now, the economy needle's on the left-hand side, indicating that you are driving the most economical. But if you were to drop it a gear and put your foot down, then the needle goes all the way to the right, letting you know that actually you're getting very poor economy. A cool feature on the speedo cluster are the little dots at different speeds. So at 40 miles an hour, there's 1 dot. At 65 miles an hour, there are 2 dots. At 85, 90 miles an hour, there are 3 dots. And at 130 miles an hour, there are 4 dots. Now those are there for optimum gear changes. So you pull off in first. When you hit 40 miles an hour, single dot, change up to second gear. Now, kind of a cool feature, but I think if you've got a helmet on and you're on a track, the last thing you want to be doing is looking at your instrument cluster to work out when you should be changing gear. You need to really keep your eyes on the track. The seats, Recaro sports seats, very comfortable actually. In fact, in the back, you've got 2 Recaro bucket seats as well. They're in good condition. Another quirky feature on this 190 are the door mirrors are different sizes. So the one on the driver's side is rectangular and the one on the passenger side is more square. Now apparently that's for blind spot vision, which is different on the driver's side and on the passenger side. And to adjust the wing mirrors on the driver's side, you've got a standard sort of toggle switch, but for the passenger side, you've got electric adjustment via a toggle switch on the center console, obviously because you can't lean over and manually adjust it. Don't know why you couldn't have had electric adjustment for the driver's side as well, but I guess it is what it is. This particular car is a 1990 H registration car, finished in smoked silver, one of the most popular colors. It has been previously painted and there is virtually no rust on this car. Typically the 190Es and the 230s and so on of this particular era, all the arches rust. This car has 0 rust on the arches. One thing I don't understand with the 190 Cosworths are their values. Now, E30 M3s, if you wanted to buy an E30 M3, just a stock one that needs some work, maybe some bodywork issues and engine issues, you'll be looking at 45, 50,000 pounds all day long. Autos. Now, a 190E 2.3 Cosworth, an earlier variant, which needs a bit of work, they're like 15,000 pounds. And a well-sorted car, and a later 2.5 16 valve well-sorted car, you're looking anything between 25 and 35,000 pounds. So they're a lot cheaper than the E30 M3s, and I just don't get that. I reckon 190E Cosworths, that's 2.3 and 2.5, they will shoot up in price over the next year or so. More so now because there are a lot of eyes on special limited edition Mercedes models across the world. So guys, you heard it here first. Watch, 190E Cosworth values will shoot up. Now, let's get back to CAS HQ and I'll give you a quick walk around the car and we'll talk about the plans and what needs to be done to this particular car. So guys, there you have it. My February car purchase, this gorgeous Mercedes-Benz 190E 2.5 16-valve Cosworth. Doesn't she look pretty? So guys, the plans for this particular car. The next episode covering the 190E will be a walk around by Jay and Palm, and they're gonna get it on the ramp, they'll prod and they'll poke, and they'll score my latest car purchase out of 10 externally, interior, engine bay, underneath, and so on. I think I've done quite well. I normally do quite well because I do a fair amount of due diligence before I buy a car. But let's hope I haven't bought a lemon, eh? Suspension. Do we go all out Slam Sanctuary Customs and bag the car, so airlift performance? Very similar to my E30 M3, or do we go coilover suspension? I'll let you guys decide that. Wheels should I go for on this car? Should I choose something similar to what I did with my W124 Coupe, or should I go AMG monoblocks, Aero 2s, something different, BBS? I don't know. You guys throw up some ideas. Guys, I've got to thank Mitesh, aka Maybach Man, for the 2-car deal that I did in February. This was my February purchase. My March purchase, which I bought at the same time, that episode will drop probably in a week's time. It's a little bit newer than this and is also German. So what do you think that could be? Smash that like button. I've asked you guys a lot of questions in this episode. Make sure you drop some comments below. Ensure you share this video and make sure you've subscribed to the channel because there's a lot of content coming your way, especially about the 190E Cosworth. So guys, that's it from me today. I'll be back on another episode of CAS TV. See you soon.